Today, we're going to talk about mindfulness, and I want to start off by asking you guys to think about and write down two of the most fun times you've ever competed in volleyball. The most fun, you probably were kicking butt, you were just having fun, enjoyed it. Go ahead and write that down. I also want you to write down one or two of the best moments you've ever had outside of volleyball. I want you to look at what you just wrote down and think about if this is true or not. Are those moments where it feels like nothing else in the world mattered? That you were completely locked in to that gym, that game, that team you were on, that one point, right? So what we know from science, and we also know from our own experiences, we do our best work. We have the most joy. We're most creative and innovative when we're completely absorbed in the present moment. So if we want to play better than we ever have more consistently, if you want to have more fun than we've ever had more consistently, one thing we can do is train mindfulness, which is really just training our ability to be where our feet are. Very simply put, can we just be where our feet are? What's challenging about the skill of mindfulness is that our brain is wired to be easily distracted. We're emotionally unregulated. We like loud, noisy things. And so, especially when we care about something, whether that's winning or losing or how well we play or that we want to be great for our teammates, it's easy for our brain to wander to not just this one play, but what this one play will mean. So how many of us have ever gotten aced and you think, oh no, what if I get aced again? What if I let my teammates down? What if I get taken out of the game? What if we lose this game? And so all of a sudden we're way ahead of the moment instead of just in this moment. So I want to give you 3 ways that we can train ourselves to be where our feet are, to be present more often. The first way that we can train being mindful is through letting go of judgment or assigning meaning. So to me, this is about playing the game one point at a time, over and over and over. So typically when we make mistakes, that's not the biggest problem because those are inevitable. You know, the best players in the world never play a practice or a game where they don't make mistakes. What differentiates them is how they respond, right? So if I make a mistake and then I let that one mistake affect the next 10 plays, that's where we get in trouble. So part of training mindfulness is letting go of judgment, like, oh, that was bad. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad again if they serve me, or assigning meaning to it. I missed this serve, so that means I'm never going to get the chance to serve again. That means we're going to lose this game. That means the coach won't believe in me. All of these things. So what this looks like for us day to day is noticing when our brain goes to the future or we go into judgment. That was stupid. You're an idiot. I can't believe you did that. And let it go, knowing that's our brain doing what it's supposed to, and simply come back. Okay, I'm just going to play this one point again. I'm going to play this point now. And it's almost like hitting a reset button. And if we can do that in practice over and over, we build this skill and then we can do it in any moment. Second way we can train mindfulness is through anchoring to our breath. So if you guys have watched the Olympics, you've likely seen a lot of servers go back and they go through a routine and then they take one deep breath as a way of really getting in the present moment. And it's actually the one thing we can physically do that calms down our nervous system so that we can think clearly, that we can think creatively, and we can physically respond to what's happening right in that moment. So what's important when we anchor to the breath is that we want the exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. So when you're in practice and you start to notice that your mind is either in the past or you're ruminating on what could go wrong in the future or what will happen in the future, that's awesome. So part of this is just being aware. And then can I pay attention to one breath and really see what that feels like? And more specifically, maybe you notice the temperature of the air coming in versus going out. Maybe you notice the rise and fall of your chest. Or if you're in more of a competitive environment, just making sure that exhale is a little bit longer than your inhale. Third way we can train mindfulness. If you guys are feeling anxious before a game or nervous, whatever that feels like to you, we've all been there. One of the things we can do to help us come back to the present moment, because anxiety and nerves are usually thinking about the future and what will happen. So the best we can do is just keep coming back to the present moment over and over. One thing we can do is drop into one of our senses. So if you guys are in an arena or at a tournament You can pick one color on the wall or one specific spot as kind of a reset point. So anytime your brain starts to wander, which it will, because that we're human, that's what it does, we can look at that as a way of anchoring to the present moment. You can keep a rubber band on your wrist and snap it, or maybe like rub your fingers together as a way of just coming back and just really pay attention to what that actually feels like. You can bring your attention to your feet on the floor. That would be another way to lock into the present moment. You could put a little Jolly Rancher in your mouth or something and just really pay attention to what that tastes like. Notice any smells in the room. Pay attention to the loudest sound in the room. And then try to find the second loudest sound. And then try to find the third loudest sound, right? So that's another way, even if it's 10 to 15 seconds to 2 seconds if you're in the middle of a match, we're just locking into one sense that we're feeling in the present moment.